We're gonna have to. We have to solve this. Oh. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, good now? Okay. Thank you, Mary. Wow, I haven't heard from you in a while, Mary. Come on here and be helpful, useful immediately. Thank you. You're so sweet. I really appreciate that. Dee Dee, sound is on now. Yay. Okay. All right. Mary, help me out. Dee Dee, thank you. Thank you both, ladies. Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, here I am talking, and nothing. It's all like he's just nothing. Anyway, what I was saying was, I get started again. Great trust crash course, and what I was saying is that guy can't make up his name, make up his mind what his name is. Jack, John, right? Anyway, John was like this, the all cap letter name, right, on the birth certificate, but everybody called me Jack. Nobody called me John. Can't hear me. He's yeah. What? Maybe that helped. Did that help? How we man, that's so rigged up. Goodness. Oh boy, now it disappeared. Isn't that unfortunate? It takes me a minute to reset this when I get started, so now I'm trying to reset it. Whoa, whoa. That's not good. Oh, wonderful. This has happened to me before. Well, it's me, John McKay. Oh my, I cannot believe this. Okay. I I don't know. Do I have audio? I'm on. My goodness. Is it this obvious that you're messing with me? My God. Mary, you're still processing. You can hear me fine. Okay. I'm going to have to do without the camera, people. So let's go through this, okay? Trust crash course. You can hear me good. You can hear me well. Okay. I am sorry about that. Man, they just constantly mess with me. Ah! I really don't like this. But, okay, we'll continue on. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I'm going to try to start again. And Mary, if you have anything on your mind about that topic, just bring it up and I'll go through it. That's what I'm here for. That's why I go live. So, trust crash, of course, I was saying, I'm going to try it again. I was saying, I'm the guy, he can't make up his mind what his name is, right? Jack, John, whatever, right? John is, the corporate fiction name. It's the name on the birth certificate, John McCagg, right? John James McCagg. There it is. Okay. That's a corporation that gets started, right? When I get tossed in the body, here's your straw man, your person, your corporate fiction, your corporate soul, They say, it's you. But see, I had two names. I had to wrestle with that as a child, which is kind of weird, having two names. Other people have nicknames and stuff too, so I'm sure it's not just me. But it helped me kind of like, deal with that all, Why do, Jack, John, it's just, it was sort of an annoyance, but it helped me with my deprogramming a little bit. I realized later, it's funny. Because, people run businesses, right? Good. All right. Roxy, that's good to hear. People run businesses, right? But we're not businesses. We're not corporate fictions, right? We're not corporate entities. So, the trick is with this, I'm an accountant, right? Got an MBA, master's in accounting, 40 years experience in business. And so I figured out, let's just follow the rules. That's it. We don't make the rules, right? We don't have any part of making the rules, or this system, or this game, or whatever you want to call it, right? We're not participants like that. The rules are forced on us, and we're forced to play according to the rules, or not, and then you can't have access to certain things if you don't play by the rules. But if you play by the rules, okay, then I should have access to your system, which you do. So if you play by the rules, your corporate fiction, that person, you give it nothing, right? You don't give it anything. And so it's not you, but it's you. Where's your ID? Where's your passport? Your bank account? All your life. It's yours. Now, people run businesses, they're not businesses. So the trick is give that thing nothing, right? And then you qualify for all the government everything. Give me all the free stuff. And you operate a trust instead, like the wealthy elite do. And that makes it so you don't have to pay taxes. You don't even report taxes to the IRS. It's special rules just for this type of, only this trust, only. So it's me and the crazy super wealthy Illuminati know about this. No one else, right? I just watched what they were doing as an accountant. I'm like, wait a second. How come you don't have any taxes, all you presidents? What do you mean? I mean, because, if they did, they'd be like, no, hey, pay your taxes. So do I. Why don't they pull that such an easy little scam? You know what I mean? Here it is. I only make this much money and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not giving you anything. Why? They don't report either. They operate a trust like this one, not this one. But so I just watched what they did, and I'm like, well, if you can do it, that means everybody can do it. And so that's what I figured out, right? And many other things along the way, but that's what we're talking about, the Trust Crash Course. And let's get into it, okay? Who is Liberty Aid Academy? Liberty Aid Academy teaches our students to radically improve their lifestyle with legal, easy-to-use financial methods not widely known, but proven by testimonials to work for all of our students. Our courses all use copyrighted unique material only used at our school. All our students' testimonials have a notarized affidavit proving their outcomes and testimonials are 100% real by real people just like you. Yes, that's who we are. And the copyrighted work is my own. Yes. It's all copyrighted. I'm often plagiarized, but this is all copyrighted. I did this first. I have the proof. I, registered my copyrights. I did it legally. For everything that I teach, for my books, for all my written information. And this isn't just for, the current names of courses and so on, but I registered all the past name of courses and websites and so on. So, that's all copyrighted, unique, not available elsewhere. Even if someone stole my work and they're, putting it out as their own, they don't know anything. They didn't have the experience that allowed them to know what to do. They can only look at what I did and be like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. But they didn't have the experience. They didn't figure it out from experience. So where does this experience come from? The crash where I and many people lost everything, right? I mean, it was just such a pandemic, the crash of, it's like, here's all the money, everything's going to go up, and everything's cool. And then one day, this is what they were doing, a form of helicopter money, basically. And they were just allowing you to go stated income, like I teach you could do on credit cards now, just stated income, and they give you, you know, uh, a mortgage, no problem, against basically prior sales. So it was super easy to get money back then for real estate. So they just built it up into crescendo. Well, I lost everything. I was, running a construction company and so on, and really, I lost everything back there, including my family, home, everything. I was homeless, and so used my skills to, because my credit is ruined, right? Got no money. So I was like, wait a minute, I thought through this. Now that I'm sitting there, nothing, with nothing, I was like, oh man, I've been lied to. This didn't happen. Legally, honestly, morally, ethically, none of that happened. I was following the rules, did what they say, and me and many others got wiped out. And so I was like, wait a minute. I began to look at my credit. I was like, man, I need to fix my credit, but I feel like I didn't get anything for that. Like, all I got was, this bad credit report. The crash happened, and all I got was this bad credit report. But I realized, the bankers are running this Ponzi scheme. You see? Every debt is collected illegally. Every single one. Okay? The bank never signs a document. They never sign a document. So they're not in contract with anyone. Do you follow? They're not in contract with anyone. If there's no contract between two parties and you're the only one that signed a document, or you're the only one that has, legal standing to change that document or have any relationship to that document, whatever. You see? I was a general contractor for a couple decades, like 25 years, licensed in 3 states. Contractor, two parties. What's one of the elements of a contract? What are the elements of a contract? If you look up elements of contract, they can be different, but one of them is always there has to be a meeting of the minds. There's no minds. There's one mind. If one individual signed it, that's one mind. Do you follow? No one met and did anything. So all debt is a Ponzi scheme. They just print the money and say, oh, hey, you owe us. It's like, oh, so, people are, I tell people this, face to face, they're like, you calling me a slave? I'm like, no, not you exclusively. I'm calling myself one too. I'm enslaved to Jesus now through this stress, right? I'm enslaved to God, but I used to be enslaved to the devil. We be 33, but I'm not now. So banking is simply legalized slavery. There is no way around that simple fact of the matter. You can, try and put a bow on it, I try and put some lobby bait in every single, bank lobby. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, he's so good looking and whatever. Maybe banks are good, lobby bait. I'm like, I was, sitting in a food line today, waiting to get free food. They give it out. Hey, well, I'll take it, I'll give me all your free stuff, everything you got. It's so funny, isn't it? And, I was like, no meat for me. And because this woman had 2 sons in front of me in line, and the guy's like, she's like, why didn't you eat your White Castle? He's like, man, that stuff's gross. I was like, and I was listening. I was like, I understand. I don't eat animals either, And the lady looks at me, and she's like, I'll tell you what, if I didn't have meat, and you were the last meat, I'll probably eat you. And I was like, well, that's quite a leap from eating animals and cannibalism, but, I understand. As I said, well, I'd actually help you with that. I was like, I burned some Baker lobby bait, burn them alive for you, and you could eat them. How's that? I don't mind burning Bakers alive. That seems morally and ethically correct. They're gonna burn anyway, come Judgment Day. Anyway, I was doing my comedy shtick. I was like, a captive audience, and I thought it was funny. She looked at me. I'm like, you're a cannibal, okay? You're all right. Anyway, I digress not too much. The programming in this place, right? So anyway, I figured out how to beat debt using the law, and then I posted all my wins from beating debt on YouTube. They're the first four videos of this YouTube channel that you're watching live right now. Hey, you should go watch them. Non-disclosure agreement, settlement checks. That was a decade ago, and no one has ever posted anything like that still in one decade. No one's posted anything like that. That's 4 wins. Some students have posted some testimonials with some of that information after using, this information. I'm super happy about that. More testimonials, the better. But no individual has ever figured out that information and has ever on their own, like, just gone, oh, hey, I'm going to show the proof. It's never happened. So that's what I did. 2012 is still out there. And then, I helped a lot of people go watch all the testimonials, beating the dead and so on. But what happened was in that process, I was like, well, okay, I didn't have anything. All right, I lost all my money. I'm homeless. They stole everything. Great Ponzi scheme. You totally tricked me, wrecked my family, ruined my life. All the banker's fault. Absolutely 100%. It's always the banker's fault. Whatever your problem is in your life, it's always the banker's fault. Always. You can always trace it back to them. They run all the media, right? They have all the money. They have all the property. They have everything. They run everything. It's always the banker's fault. Every problem you have in your life is always the banker's fault, right? How are you supposed to react as a slave? Like, are you supposed to react well to being a slave of the bankers? I don't do that. But I'll tell you, so what happened was I was like, how do I get out from under your thumb? You know what I mean? And get anything I owed away from you. Me and my family and anyone. Like, how do we get out of your jurisdiction? How do we get away from you? How do you get it so you can't steal my money in the future, right? Can't steal everything I own. How does that happen? Then I figured out this trust. After beating the bankers for that long in public, posted video after video, getting memorialized on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg created a notarized death certificate of me, and then memorialized my Facebook account, showing everyone I had been killed, which I hadn't been. That's a death threat from a guy worth billions of dollars. I was like, oh, so if I sign the trust, I can't be killed. I can't be murdered. That's what Mark Zuckerberg taught me, which is true. No one that signs this trust dies, which is amazing, but absolutely true. The Bible guarantees it, eternal life. You're here till Judgment Day, right? 2033. So in 2016, I figured out, this trust. You could open a trust. Wow. And so you're either affiliated with right? The devil, or you could give everything to Jesus. Okay. Hey, put everything in a trust. Great. I don't want to be here, but I need some money to pay the bills and stuff. So you get a debit card, give everything to God, and then you pay all the bills down here. It's God created you, so he's making the bills by having this body here and stuff. So it's God's fault. So it's okay to use that money for anything that comes up. You can also operate any business, tax-free, and so on. We'll go through that. But that was a journey that got me to this trust. So the day I sat at Chase Bank and opened this trust for the first time, the devil sat right next to me, walked in and offered me $485 million to do one thing, not open the trust. I was like, oh, no, thank you. It's real, no, thank you. I was polite. But no, that was $2016. So I don't know what it's up to now, God is making the bills, right? So exactly, creating everything. So it's like, okay, who's got the money, right? Who's got the money? And you're like, okay, well, so this trust is non-taxable. You follow me? And you don't fill out any tax forms annually or anything like that. You never fill out tax forms to the IRS. That stops as soon as you open your trust. You don't do it. And so people have come to me over the years, yeah, but what about government? We pay them. I'm standing in the food line today. There's literally a table set up by Sarasota County, and there's this young guy there, and he's got these like it's a little flashlight and a little, basically little tiny Chinese pieces of crap that cost $1 that have like the Sarasota name on it, right? Like the Sarasota, and he's walking by people in line and he's giving a handout and asked her. I was like, oh wow, you're giving the beads back now. I was like, isn't that how they got New York by giving beads? But now we get beads back. I was like, that's great, beads and bubbles. That's great. I was wondering what we get from our government, and now that I'm standing in line for food, this nonprofit is giving that away, but you're giving away beads, right? The guy looks at me like, that's good to know. I was like, thank you. I was like, do you give away anything else? I was like, do you have anything? He's like, he looked at me like, okay, I was just wondering, thank you. He come out later, he had another handout. It had a list of, resources. And I was like, oh, this is the list of government things that he gave away. He's like, no. Just these top ones here in the government. The rest are nonprofits. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, cool. So this is the list of what the government has to give away. Okay. I look at it. I was like, the library. I was like, I already know about the library. So it's just the programming stuff. You can go to a free place to get heat and air conditioning. You can get out from under the dome if you come in to get programmed by our, slave programming tools. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I knew about that. I was like, guys, like, everybody's looking at me. I was like, because I got to pray for everybody at the food line, I got to pray for the ones handing it out that they earn their wings, and I got to pray for the people in line because obviously they're having a difficult time. So I do my comedy routine where, of course the banker should die, right? And everyone in the government who's making us a slave should be murdered, of course, right? Morally and ethically. We don't do that because we have a savior. So, and I teach how to use that information. But here it is, First Lady, Ron Reagan, Roddy, help me, Ron. So this is the president, and there was this Grace Commission, and what that was is this guy runs to be on president. I still remember this, So I'm an actor, okay? Well, at least the first honest president, right? Lady dresses man. That's what president means, apparently. First honest one that says, I'm just an actor. Okay, well, we got something here at least, finally, and some honesty has appeared. Like, you're not all actors. But it ran on the platform, I'm going to straighten out this whole IRS mess. It's like, oh, cool. So you have this great, I'm going to make a commission, we're going to investigate all this stuff. And this is, after the investigation happens, this is the outcome. Like, this is the summation. This is what, hey, the reason we spent that $100 billion on my nephew's accounting firm was, and this is the quote, 100% of taxes that are collected are absorbed by interest on the federal debt. Oh, Ponzi scheme, cool. In other words, all individual income tax revenue are gone before one nickel is spent on the services taxpayers expect for government. That's the actor who's, the spokesmodel for the Baker Ponzi scheme. And so, yeah, your money that goes to taxes only goes to the bankers. Yeah, only goes to your owners, no one else. So here's my disclaimer. It's true, a person must pay taxes on all income. That corporate fiction is a taxable entity, right? Of course. You should always pay and never evade taxes owed. That's right. However, a trust is another topic. I'll walk you through specific systems that reduce tax liabilities, protect assets, and give amazing benefits for me currently and our students here at the school. So, secret number one, you can protect any asset no matter how big or small. Secret number two, the process is free to do. Secret number three, you don't have to be any expert. No, you come to the school, we teach you. And that's the shortcut. You pay, you get in the courses, and it's like all the people here in this live thing who have been successful, you are successful as well. You know, after spending, I just want to go, secret number one, you can secure anything. Okay, let's go over this one point though. I have spent, I would say, 50%, somewhere between 30 or 50% of all money ever donated to me on paid advertising. A lot of it on Google and YouTube, okay? To get this information seed. I want to say several $100,000 spent on YouTube advertising, on Google advertising over the years. Absolutely, for sure. You want to know how many subscribers this channel has? 5,000. If you're watching any YouTube channel with more than 5,000 subscribers, you're basically, have a channel with a demon. It's very doubtful that they ever take physical form. You're getting your information straight from a demon in the ether that hasn't taken a physical form. That's all they are, right? AI is fake. The internet's fake, okay? It's just a complex network of demons that run all the ether. And so that's all there is. And so if you have really more than 5,000 subscribers, somebody say, oh, you have 5,002. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. If you're getting thousands of views on any single video ever, you're one of them. You're strictly a demon, a jinn. What do you say? Call him in the Quran, a smokeless flame, right? The star. It was twinkle, twinkle, little star. I know exactly what you are. And that's them, the jinn. Okay, so just a point about YouTube, every time I make a video now, YouTube posts from some account that YouTube has just made up some long list of German porn. I quit taking it down. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm just not taking stuff down anymore. Anyone can post anything on this channel. Yeah, I want people to see exactly what kind of demons there are and how to deal with them. Because that's what we're up against. There are almost no humans. There are 7,000. The rest are countless, like the firmament. They're cast. They're cast down. The casting process is of a liquid becoming solid, like an ice cube. That's making a casting, right? It's very appropriate, though. That ocean above the firmament, God turned into a solid, cast it, right? I cast you down. It casts them as these beings of light into the firmament. And I am the first individual, again, to decode what they are. My God. And they operate, one day is 1,000 years, right? In the Bible, between the reset. This could be, you get 1,000 years of peace. Well, it's one day here. Right? And so they're operating like the Flash at super speed all around you all the time. You can never see it. And then they just, I'll take forward, whoop, they appear. For in your time period, you know what I mean? They're running at your time speed. But they just took like a decade in between an answer to you. You know what I mean? You turned your head for a second and looked over there, and they were gone for a decade. And now they have a perfect answer for you. And they have every, figured out where your conversation might go, where, continue and so on. And they're programmed, they're ready. And you have no idea. They can read your mind too. That's what we're up against here. You feel me? Don't you see this? I mean, how come I'm the first one to decode this all the time? These creatures are constantly getting over on us. I'm sick of it myself. I'm sick of it. They won't. God made them to kneel to us, right? Anyway, this new church website is almost started, and I got a lot of information over there to give out. It's time to, they're the born loser. They have to lose. They're here to lose, you see? And so in the Bible, right, that's where this comes from. That's where law comes from. Real, actual law that functions here, that we could use. All other laws are fake. They're fake. The bank never signs a contract, so every foreclosure happens illegally. And I've initiated 50 court cases against the bankers. I know. They know. I brought this up every time. They know. They told me they worship the devil to my face. Okay? In the courtrooms. You go to have a meeting with them. They try to work out, some mediation. They worship the devil is what they say. So no. Okay. That's what I was thinking. But now I know for a fact. Glad I kept coming down here until I learned about reality. Glad I kept coming to the carnival until I realized what the carnies are. You see, laws are fake. They're 100% fake. They're all fake. Only God's laws actually exist. Do you see? And so in the Bible it says you have to give everything to God. And then I'll give you eternal life. If you look at Acts 5, this husband and wife come and the apostles are there. They don't have a trust, right? I don't want what anyone has. I don't want anything here. I don't. Here, get your own trust, put everything in it, you manage it, and you deal with God on Judgment Day, not me. Now, but see, Jesus dies in the Bible, right? Next thing in the books are this thing called Acts, and the apostles are like, oh, we got to deal with all these people, you know what I mean? You're with Jesus, and now we're head of a church. It's like, oh, great. So they're like, okay, give us everything you have, and we'll redistribute it to the people that are in dire need. That's what their plan was, Not as good a plan as giving each individual a trust for themselves to manage themselves. It's not as good a plan, right? But the information of what happened there was very important. A husband and wife come in and speak to this apostles, and the husband comes in first into the building. The wife stays outside, doesn't know what happens, and so he comes in, and just like everybody gets the same treatment who comes before them, and they ask the same question every time, So it's like, hey, did you sell everything? Did you sell your property or whatever? It's like, yeah. And is this everything, what you're handing to me? And the guy's like, yeah, that's everything. And he says, listen, are you sure that's everything? I got to tell me if you have to be honest. The guy's like, yes, but it wasn't. He held some back. Him and his wife made a plan to held some back. What happened to him right then? Drops dead on the spot. They say, give up the ghost. Right? Everyone has a spirit, a ghost in them, a jinn. Everyone is that star. You think you're different than them now. We are now, but we were them. We earned our wings, and now we can play the game. And you see, they have to. They think they're more special than us because they have more abilities and so on. But they can't leave. They're only the carnies at this repeating carnival. Do you follow? And that's all they are. They're nothing else. Anyway, I digress a little bit, but you have to know what you're up against, and so. The wife comes in, right, to the apostles, and they say the same thing. Hey, is this everything? And she's like, yes. And they're like, are you sure? She's like, yes. So, pow, she drops down on the spot just like that. They carry him out and bury him, and that's it for them. Now, you have to put everything in a trust, or what? They're going to steal it. The government's going to steal your stuff. The government is going to steal everything, right? That's what they do. If it hasn't happened to you yet, well, your number hasn't come up yet. That's all. You're next. That's all it means, right? Oh, it's my neighbor getting foreclosed on. Oh, well, yeah. It'll be you one day. Anyway, so the trick is you put everything in this, like the Bible says, it's not yours. You see? And then they can't take anything. Why? Because they have trust too. That's what they operate as a trust. They're using this. I caught them. So I'm like, oh, you could do the same thing, but you don't have to side with the devil? They all have knowingly. Okay? And all the super wealthy have changed their gender. Not just that, they operate with many demons inside and are many creatures. There are many characters, like the Queen of England is, what's his name? Elton John is, and Elton John's still alive, right? That queen is still alive. So they sell their soul and get all these demons in them, and it can be so many different characters. And they also, they have a lazy eye because they are given an eyeball that the devil sees through. They literally pluck out one of their eyeballs and put it in another eyeball. And they not only play different genders, but they play so many different characters because they are different beings. They have many demons in them, so they just take a turn and be another demon to play this other character. That's like, they're fragmented and they're programmed, using that, crazy, weird, satanic butterfly programming, crazy, evil, weird stuff they do to children, It's creepy. But that's who they are. So you have to put everything into trust so they can't get to it, you see? And that includes yourself. They can't touch you, they can't touch your money, you can't do anything. So, secret number one, you can secure anything. Your money, everything can go to trust, right? You could have a trust account at Schwab, at your securities, your equities. You could have your crypto could go in this tax-free trust. Is onshore tax-free trust and reporting-free trust. So you don't not only no taxes but no reporting. And this is the IRS giving this trust this designation. Some people are like, well, what about the IRS? Like, what about them? They're the one that says this is great. That's why I've told so many testimonials for so many years. Everything's cool since 2016, and I'm live twice a week, Mondays at noon, Thursdays at 7 p.m. How's that possible? The IRS isn't making this possible. You see? I am following the rules, the law. That's all I'm doing. And so they can't steal your car or anything with a title you put into a trust. You mobile home, a boat, anything with a title. Any real estate could go in this type of trust. So you could, then after doing that process, you could apply at the county level for no property taxes. Any business, instead of using an LLC, you use a trust, and then your business is tax-free. That's simple. It's tax-free and reporting free. Any business. This works for everyone in America. Everyone. Yeah, fly through the eyeball. They eat those little things with your eyeball. Secret number two, it's fast and free to do, which you just pay, we train you to do this. We give you all the information, but the process is free. All you do is, watch the training, and we have all the documents and stuff. You sign the document. Oh, this is how you get your EIN. Okay, cool. And you make your bank appointment. You open up your bank account. And that's it. Run all money through it. Boom. That's it. You're tax free. So anyone could do this, okay? We teach you how to do this. We don't teach you, oh, hey, this is everything about trust. No, who wants to know all that drivel, right? This is only what you need to know so you're completely successful. Don't waste any of your time. Why do that? No, life is short. They're trying to make us their slaves, right? So it's like, no, I make it really fast. I've taught a lot of people over the years. And, so I've taken out the parts that just don't that waste your time. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, the videos are different than when I go live. I'm like, step by step by step. Here's what you do first. Here's the next. That's it. Here's how you do it. No, I want everybody happy and successful. This is how you do it. So it's really fast to do. It doesn't take long to do this at all. So the old way of getting a, this trust has 501c3 status, okay? And it's non-reporting status. So the old way to get a 501c3 is you have to do a super long application and use one of those state licensed professionals, like either a lawyer or a CPA, right? And they could only, fill out this form and apply because they don't know anything about what I'm talking about, right? Unless they're one of those super elite, accountants that know everything. And for them, I've been told they pay $75,000 to get a trust like this open. And your soul, right? That too. But this way, this model, you simply get in this class. We teach you how to do it. And you get it from the IRS, okay? You get it when you get your EIN. There's no further application process. That means they could never take away the 501c3 status. It's always good. It's always in effect. And that's what they needed, okay? This works for everyone. Since we started this works for everyone. There's no one this isn't successful for. It works for everyone. This type of trust that this is, and you coined these. Some of these are terms that are trust terms, but they've never been assembled this way to describe a trust because no one except for them has ever, needed to describe it because they've never made it public. Do you see? So this is a private, common law, irrevocable ecclesiastical trust. Private means, in relation to a trust, private means one thing and one thing only. It means you created it yourself. That's what it means. And also the same term I could have used instead of private, I could have used non-statutory. In other words, I don't use a statutory agent, a licensed agent of the state, right? Statutory agent. That's what that means. And that would be a CPA or a lawyer. Those are statutory agents. So, and they have statutory trusts. In other words, taxable trusts that only they know how to do, right? Because that comes on the software they have. They don't know what to do, right? They just have software that spits out a trust. They don't know anything. So that's what they have. And so this is private. I teach you how to do it. You create it yourself. There's no statutory agent. So it's private. Common law goes under the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done to you. Right? That's the law that's common to all. Another word for that is the Buddhists who understand Buddhism understand common law is also called Dharma. That's common law and Dharma also are synonyms. So this is an irrevocable trust. Why? Because a revocable trust is a tax scam, according to the IRS. Why? What does revocable and irrevocable mean in relation to a trust? It has simple meanings. It doesn't mean what your programming thinks. Like, oh, maybe if this trust doesn't work, I could take this stuff out. Yeah, that's what it means. But it means what? You could put it back into your taxable entity called the person or your LLC or what have you, meaning it could still be taxable again in the future. Meaning, if you have the right to have something be not, taxable in the future, that means it's always going to be taxable. So only an irrevocable trust is legally can be legally a non-taxable entity, you see? Because otherwise it can revoke to its prior taxable status. So only an irrevocable trust is actually legal according to the IRS and one that can be non-taxable. Ecclesiastical, because you're not signed with we, right, the devil, anymore, You side with Jesus, and so God backs your signature. The contract with the devil is real. I was offered $485 million to not sign this trust by the devil who sat next to me. So tell me the devil's not real. Yeah, maybe you just, you're a nobody and the devil didn't make you an offer yet. That's why you think the devil's not real, because you think the devil's not real. So the devil's like, you're a nobody. Got you, idiot. Yeah, not me, though. So this has, IRS 501c3 status. It protects your assets. It makes you, i.e. your corporate fiction called the person, judgment proof. Why? Because you give your person nothing. Right? It has nothing. So you can get a judgment. Watch the testimonial from June 6th of this year. Okay. Let's go back to June 6th and watch Jared's testimonial where his person gets a judgment and the lawyer goes to collect from his bank where he has a trust. Okay. Lawyer writes like, hey, here's the court order for all of Jared's assets. So we think he has assets there. We want his assets. You know what the bank writes back? Nope. Jared doesn't have any assets here. So for years, people said, oh, yeah, but the trust held up in court. Yeah, June 6, 2022. Go watch the video. Did it hold up? What's the hold up with you? That's the hold up. Why haven't you signed this? You're the one with your money in one of their corporate entities, taxable. They can make a rule tonight. You wake up tomorrow, oh, my money's gone. Yeah, you should go watch the videos that people happen to. Not with the trust, though. You see, you should be concerned tonight if you don't have this trust. That you should wake up tomorrow and be, where's all that money that I thought I had in my bank account? Yeah, no, it's their bank account if it's their corporation. So you got to create your own corporation so they can't get in there and take it. Why? Because they use the same kind of trusts. So if they start looting these kind of trusts, they're going to open their own trust owed to looting. Do you follow? It's so simple. You just do what they do. It's like, oh, okay. Why? Because they can't shoot themselves in the foot. You follow? So like I was saying, you could also apply for no real estate taxes. And I teach and I taught beforehand, before the first helicopter money EIDL and the PPP 666 money, right? PPP 666. Have you seen how's a P not a 6? You just spin it a little bit. So did you get your 666 money? I taught you to do that. I said you have to build your credit profile for the trust. I taught it, years before the helicopter money came. And those people got that money. Go watch the testimonials. Are they going to do it again? Of course. What's helicopter money for? Hush money. Don't overthrow us, please. Money. We pay in cash. Oh, yeah, because you make the cash. So you better pay up. Are they going to do it again? They have to. Right? They're making it so, this Ponzi scheme is running out of control. They're having to pay. Everybody hush money. Everyone. So this has non-reporting 501c3 status, and it can't be taken away. So this trust is separate from you. It's its own entity. You follow? It's not your person. Yay. And there are super many types of trusts, but this is the only type that is non-reporting and tax-free. As I was saying before, revocable trusts are a tax scam. So this is the only type of a trust with this that has real protection. What makes this different from other trusts? As I was saying, it's not created by a statutory agent. We teach you how to do it. You do it yourself. Everyone's successful. It's great. As my grandfather told me, he's like, knowledge isn't heavy. Like cinder blocks, they're heavy, right? I was a builder for a while. Everything with building is heavy. He looked at me one day and he's like, knowledge isn't heavy. I was like, you know what? You got a point there. You follow me? If you know the truth, you carry it with you wherever you go. No one can overcome that. You see, it's very important that truth sets you free. So, and you're like, is this real? Yeah, it's real. Sadly, right? Let's look at our history of trusts and what we've seen in the public from our, there's Jimmy Carter, also known as, oh, I'm sorry, that's JFK is Jimmy Carter, of course. That's the same actor playing those two roles. But this is about, the brother character, Ted Kennedy. And the story is, right, the crisis acting hoax that occurred, because nothing in the news is real, of course, but they're telling us stories about reality, and so we have to glean from their fake, lying, made up, not true, never happened stories, because nothing on the news has ever happened, right? It's all fake, all crisis acting, 100% of it. They can't even get the weather right, and they create it. It's crazy. So Ted Kennedy, is the story is driving a car, super drunk, has a woman in the car with him, drive off a bridge. I mean, Dukes of Hazzard story, right? I was doing my Dukes of Hazzard move, and the filly died. It's like, okay. Well, did you know that's a TV show? You probably shouldn't do the Dukes of Hazzard move. Senator Ted Kennedy is like, well, I watched the show, and we went right out, and I figured, hey, Uncle Jesse, watch. Anyway, so what happened was they couldn't, the story is, right? They couldn't get him on criminal charges. It's like, it's not illegal doing right? It's not illegal doing a Dukes of Hazzard jump off a bridge. It's like, oh, okay. It isn't, huh? No, it's right on the Dukes of Hazzard. Haven't you seen it? Come on. And like, that's not a crime. So they got off on the Dukes of Hazzard, whatever. They paid money, and he didn't get accused, no conviction of any crime. But, the family goes against a civil judgment of money that goes to collectives like Jared's video. Hey, we want money. Guess what? They don't have any. Everything's in trust. They didn't get a nickel. And hey, we're fine posting this story in public as a crisis acting skit because what? You slaves are too stupid to figure it out anyway, right? And every slave was too stupid to figure it out until they figured it out. And now other people are doing it and have figured it out too. My joke is, the human race is over. I won. But you could win too. Someone has to win and then turn around and be like, hey, sheep, guess what? I opened the gate. I'm a sheep. I'm over here. See the gates open. Everybody through, right? Come on. And the sheep are like, that dude totally looks like a sheep, but I have never seen a gate, and I've never seen a gate open, so no. Anyway, let's go on. More crisis actors bringing us information about trusts. Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, I don't know who that character was. Probably the Queen of Belgium or something. I have no idea. And what's the Nelson's quote? The full quote is, "The secret to success is own nothing and control everything." In other words, put it in trust. But the thing is, people can't own anything. It's not the secret. It's the secret is you didn't know that. People can't own anything. It can only be in a corporate entity. Do you see? You can't walk into a bank and be like, hey, I want a bank account. Just let me sign some papers. So like, no, show us your corporate fiction ID. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fine then. You see? President Trump, Elvis, President Trump / Elvis, Elvis is right in front of your face, that's Elvis. Played Elvis when it was younger. Anyway, so the President Trump character had, the crisis acting information is, was Roxy. I donated over $200,000 from my business into my trust. Yay! And paid company bills from the trust. No. Oh, so I would know my money was safe. Great. Roxy, your accomplishments are many, and I love them all. I really do. Like, your insurance thing and your health thing. I'm glad you got your health back. I'm glad you're here. You're here, and I said a prayer for your health, and it must be returning. I'm happy for that. But man, you must be some woman. You got quite a lot of balls in the air, and you're quite an excellent juggler. I love all your outcomes and all your information. It's so you're really a wise lady. Well done. Uh, Way to go. The exit door, exactly. You can only learn the exit door for someone that has the exit door open, right? Who's someone who's gone through the exit door. Only one of them can get you through. So the Warren Buffet, right? What character is this? I will play the evil, most wealthy human. It's like, okay, yeah. I like having money and drinking cokes. What are you talking about? That's your character? It doesn't make any sense. Well, I like it anyway. Okay, fine, fine. And so, what's the definition of evil, right? Being wealthy and evil are synonyms, right? Wealth and evil are synonyms. If you're wealthy, you are evil. Because you just don't care. The homeless are like, living on the street and you have billions of dollars. What? How long are you going to burn in hell for? And that would be push the button for eternity. Yay! Right? What's the quote? Warren Buffett doesn't mind saying, right? Mr. Buffett, or Miss, or whatever it is, admits he pays less in taxes than his secretary. Hey, sucker. Thanks for answering my phone. Okay, thanks. That's wonderful. And so, like I was saying before, I have no income, i.e. my person, right? My corporate fiction, I give it nothing. And so I made this easy. Like I said, it doesn't cost $75,000 like it does for the elite and your soul. I'll be $75,000. Oh, and leave your soul here. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And so really, it's easy to do. I made this simple to do. So again, you could get a lawyer or a CPA or to help you out and do an application. They could yank your 501c3 status. You still got to report. You got to follow all these rules, which are all ever changing. So all your money's at risk. Okay. Or you could do it yourself and pay zero taxes the day you open this trust. It's like, yay! All you got to do is run the money through the bank account for the trust, and it's non-taxable, non-reporting. So what allows this to happen? What's the IRS code that allows it to happen? Did you know there were special rules? Special rules? If there's ever special rules, you want to be like, hey, give me some of that. Special rules with respect to Section 501c3 organizations. New organizations must notify the Secretary that they are applying for recognition of 501c3 status. As provided in subsection C. So you have to apply to get 501c3 status, except, what do we have down here? Exceptions. Mandatory exceptions shall not apply. So you don't apply for these statuses. Your church, I heard of that one. They're integrated auxiliary, so church, convention, that's not a church, or association of churches. So what's a convention? How do we get in on that deal? Right? How do we get on the convention deal? I want to go to the convention. Oh, you have to sell your soul. Oh, no. That's not the kind. I don't want to go to the convention. It's like, no, but what is a convention? It's agreement between two parties. And so there are three parties to a trust. There's beneficiary. You don't have to name them. And there's grantor and trustee. You could be both parties. And so that's it. You're two parties. So trust fits that definition. So they could have said trust, but they said convention. So in that case, a trust and a convention are synonyms as far as we're talking about. So here it says you don't report, you don't fill out Form 1023, right? If you're a convention. Nope. You don't do it. A church or convention, you don't do it. So you're like, okay, I don't know if that code You don't apply to get 501c3 status. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't apply to get 501c3 status. You don't. You could do that. You could not fill it out, and anyone could get 501c3 status without application, right? So let's see. This is, you could look this up now. You could Google this. You could LGOG and Magog this. Like Google is LGOG backwards, right? LGOG and Magog. Right, the penultimate evil location that exists in the Bible, LGOG, right? Okay, anyway. So you would Google SBA, Faith-Based Organization FAQ, as a PDF, hit the link. This is page 2. The SBA is the helicopter money organization of the government, right? This is the people, this is the SBA is the helicopter money crew. They're the ones that threw out the PPP and EIDL money. So, what do they have to say? Oh, this is 2 questions and 2 answers. Why do they make it 3 and 4? Because they're trying to hide something, obviously, right? I mean, the other FAQs are single questions, so this has 2. So let's look at the second question and the second answer. Do organizations, that's not churches, right? Do organizations, like what? A convention, or trusts, right? Do organizations have to request I receive tax-exempt status or just meet the requirements of 501c3 status to be eligible? So what's the second sentence? It says, such organizations are not required to apply to the IRS to receive tax-exempt status. Look at 508c1a, what we just read. It's right there, black and white, from the helicopter money wing of the government. Right there in black and white. If you're not doing this, you're missing out on helicopter money. Right, you're paying them taxes you don't need to. There's no reason you could follow the law, okay, and get out of paying taxes. They do. You can too. Tiffany, just checking to say I love you too. Oh, Tiffany, that's so sweet. What? I love you too, Tiffany. God bless you. Can't wait for the church you're opening up. It's coming along. It's coming along. But it's the same extremely small group of individuals, that are at the school doing this other thing on the side. It's not, we're doing our best, so we're a worn out group from all these years of, breaking trail out there. So thank you for the love, Tiffany. I appreciate that. It's coming along nicely, actually. Last time I was on, I was thinking like 30 days. I still think we're counting down like that. It's going smoothly. So, so it's going good. Thank you, Tiffany. So I have no income, right? I, meaning my person, has no income. My corporate fiction has no income. So what? That means the government, because you have nothing, can give you all their money for all their programs. So what is that? SSI, SST. This is what I teach too. These are the courses, how to get this. How to get this money, how to operate your trust. All this is in the training at the school, okay? I can't teach you how to do all this stuff in this short time we have together here, but it's all in the school. And it's really easy to get this stuff done with this training, okay? So, free cash monthly payments. It's $851 a month, which that's the bottom figure, which is great. SSD for disability, like my back hurts from being a slave. Sorry it didn't show up on your radar, but I want my money. SSI, you're making me sane. I got PTSD from you treat me like a slave. So where's my money? It's just always pay up, right? It's like that movie line. Give them nothing and take from them everything. That's what, right? Your person has nothing, so we have nothing to give you here. But you have everything, so why don't you give me everything you got, right? Uncle Sam, well, let me get you by the ankles. I'm going to shake you and take every nickel you have, right? Food stamps, hey, that was $250 a month, and this is the last month for that. It's going up to $281 a month. Almost $300 a month, okay? That's $3,300 ish. You know what I mean? A year. Really, that's $1,300 more than all of our courses together. You get paid back in food stamps into your first year, let alone all this other stuff. I'm not even talking about no taxes. I just like, well, let's just assume nobody gives them any of that anyway. What are you getting from them? You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about taxes. That's a given. What? Oh, can't eat that much food. That's funny. That's funny. But no, I mean, you know, it's great. Walmart delivers or whatever. Thanks for delivering the free food. That's what happens to them. So why can't it happen to us? You see, this is only actually being treated the way they are being treated. They have free housing. They have free everything. They don't pay for anything. They sell their soul. Everything's free. And so you can basically do the same. You knowingly sell your soul not to the devil, and these are, some things you can get from it. you know, uh, the government gives away a free smartphone, this piece of crap, but you could use your own smartphone and get free cell phone service, which is service works all the time for me. T-Mobile backs it, so if T-Mobile sucks, it would suck, but it works for me. No bill, unlimited everything. Free or discounted internet, county as state programs like free electricity, free health insurance, teach you how to get free health insurance for anyone, free housing, teach you how to get that, free college and graduate school. Listen, graduate degrees are the thing that, get high salaries, certain ones. You can get one for free. I teach you how to do it. Okay, it doesn't cost money. It would take your time, but, we need a good doctor. They all sold out. The pharmaceuticals, they all sold out. Right? Close their hospitals. That's cool. We'll just, we'll turn into singer songwriters and dancers. It's like, okay, we didn't notice. Is that what you think? No, there could be one good doctor now. That would be great. I teach you how to get better credit too. So, like I was saying, there's no IRS taxes, no IRS filing, no business taxes, no personal taxes. You could get out of property taxes. You could get out of sales taxes. You could get out of the jab. I teach all these things, and I'm successful. And so is everyone else. These go along with the trust. Okay? No crypto taxes. No one can be jailed or detained. They physically cannot touch you anymore. They're frozen solid should they try, the police. I've tested it many times in their courtrooms, too. I tested this stuff for real. I was trying to get killed. Like, they took everything, my family, everything. I was like, you can't do suicide, so how can I have a meaningful death? I was like, and getting nailed to a tree, that sucks penultimate, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? You could nail me to a tree, too. I just went out of the dome. But they never killed me. So I've done 50 court cases against the bankers, 5-0, more than any human alive. And so I figured out what was going on. Why, it's legal to get as much credit card as you can. Take your credit cards, go to the coin dealer, and buy gold and silver coins. Thank you very much. Not pay for your credit cards, right? And then go change your gold and silver into cash at a coin dealer, and then put it in your trust. That's legal to do, completely legal, lawful, and has no financial blowback whatsoever because credit cards are unsecured debt, right? They're not secured by any asset. They can't get any money. Your person has nothing. Every 7 years, right, your credit gets wiped, according to the Bible, and it happens too on your credit report. So why aren't you taking at least $100,000 plus every time? I certainly do that. I teach people how to do that. There's nothing negative about it. What do you need credit for anyway? You see what I'm saying? Credit is just for normalizing a revenue stream, right? Oh, I'm going to get some money coming up, so I'll pay you today. Well, save a little money. You don't need your revenue stream normalized. You follow me? You're like, well, I saved a little bit, and my expenses are low. Okay, well, cool. You don't need credit. And I don't either. I don't need credit either. But when I get it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to take your money with that credit. You know, and I choose when to do it and so on as it works out for me. But you know, how do they own everything and they charge us for it? Why can't I own everything and charge them for it? What's the difference? It doesn't. You know, how come we're their slaves and they're not our slaves? It doesn't make any sense. Do you see? So what? I get accused of gaming the system. I didn't make this game. I didn't make this system. I just teach people how to take the absolute maximum legally, money-wise, time-wise, everything from them. All right, Yodita. California. All right. Cali's forest. Right? The forest of Cali out there. The burning forest of Cali the Destroyer. What a name out there. The ocean is cold. You got to come visit Florida sometime. The ocean is so warm. It was like 88 degrees today, and the water temperature was like 86. It's so beautiful. I went to California. I remember as a child going there the first time and be like, oh my God, it's the ocean. It's so beautiful. But up there like, ah! It's freezing. What the hell? Like, everything's lying, California. Oh. Anyway. I love the desert. No, I'm just kidding. I don't love the desert. The west is a desert, except for the north, it is too cold. And the north is just too cold. That leaves Florida. You can have the rest of the place. So yeah, that's the way I think about it. and I don't really want to be in any part of this plantation specifically. It's just like, okay, I guess this is the only halfway decent part of the plantation over here. Anyway, but thank you, Diodita. I'm just making a joke. I'm trying to get my comedy routine here. Most profound information. Thank you, Alex. That's why it's the most hidden, right? And most hidden. We're going to give you a double prize. Well, one's a prize and one's not really a prize. It's like, thank you. I think that's what you say, right? When you give me a gold statue, that I get the gold, and with a sword where I cut off that, it goes right between your legs. Academy Award for the best sliced off, genitals. It's like, oh, thank you. That's not creepy or anything. Thanks. Anyway. So about businesses, right? Any business in America can be tax-free. You just simply operate a trust instead of an LLC or what have you. And it's very simple. None of your business changes. Nothing. It's a back-end change completely. You simply open up a new bank account and you put your payment gateway in the name of the trust true. That's it. Okay? That's all there is. Pay invoice too. You might have to change that or get a DBA. But we teach all that here. So, these are all the courses here that we have. What are you talking to me about, Siri? Is it serious, Siri? Demons, huh? Artificial intelligence is a hoax. How could a computer think? Now, and if you're talking to somebody electronic or the internet or whatever, that's just demons. Come on, obviously. Yodita, I'm wanting to start a bookkeeping business. Good. Is it possible to put it within a foundation afterwards as formed? You start a trust, so use that trust to do your bookkeeping out of, Yodita. You're not one of you don't remember your previous lifetime, so you're not a founder. You didn't find everything here. You have to pay. Do you follow me? That's what foundation means. It's one of the ones who show up here remembering their lives, that everything is given to them, and they're always here under the dome, countless lives. So you're not one of the finders of free things here. You're one of the humans, right? You're not one of the demons, the fallen angels. So you don't need a foundation. You need a trust. There you go. Happy to be here right now. Good, Alex. Happy to hear that. So these are the courses at Liberty Aid, right? You get your trust open. That's the number one thing. Everyone has to do it. If you don't get a trust, if you don't open a trust, I can't help you with anything. Nothing. Even if you were doing my debt stuff, which I hope to get up on the churches soon, you still have to open up the trust, right? Because you want everything safe over there. You follow me? You want everything over there. So, no problem, Yodita. Happy to help. So then the business finance, personal finance stuff is how to build credit for your person and for the trust. That's gets you ready for the helicopter money. The mentor program is how you get all the free government money and everything. The inner circle is all the hidden truth that no one has yet revealed. I reveal all of it. All of it. There's no hidden truth left, pretty much. And what little there is, I will be telling at the church coming up soon. Marvin, hey, so you were saying that while I'm still W-2 employee, I can do a W-4 correction, pay less taxes in my paycheck. No idea. Set up this trust and not have to pay taxes on that money. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Because I don't give any kind of advice on taxable entities, right? Because that's some of their stuff. I recommend you don't use it. And in fact, they teach how to do that. Get out of the W-2, W-4 thing. Because the W-9, you can, put a trust in and so on. So Marvin, you want to take your expertise down the road somewhere at some point and get into a W-9 situation. Then you could use a trust. That's the best. Or if you're in a W-2, W-4 situation, you realize, well, that's a situation where, you're gonna hey, I'm in the military. I'm like, no, you are, you're enforcement for the devil, okay, for the bankers, all right? So no, if there's rules on the person to be employed straight with the devil like that, well, you pay a tax. Do you see? Because that's the rules of the devil. So that's the W-2, W-4 thing. You know what I'm saying? You just have to pay the piper for, not moving out of that position. So you do this training, you do all of the training, Marvin, you get in the mentor, inner circle, all of it. You do all this training, because the truth sets you free. You gather this information, you take it and you process it and be like, okay, I'm going to switch out of this W-2, W-4 thing to this. So you begin to make that, plan, that strategy and so on. And then you take the actions over time and you do it. And I, that's the first thing I get into in the mentor program is that issue because a lot of people have it, Marvin. So you have to get the truth and once that's inside of you, your programming leaves and you can see that, that you don't have one future of a W-2, W-4 thing. Oh, I have all these other options. Now, how can I apply them to my individual unique situation? Do you see? So, and then what usually happens is people get back to me with email or consult or something, right? Like, okay, hey, remember I was doing the W-2, W-4 thing? Well, I was thinking this. And I'm like, hey, exactly. You're on the right track. You see? So that's how you have to move through that, Marvin. Good question. Common question. And a good one. Because it's, got a lot of people trapped there. So this is what the courses look like. All purchase courses is whatever you have. I recommend you get the bundle. We got it more than 60% off for all of our courses together. That way you have everything. You won't have as many questions or any questions maybe. The FAQ is just like for new students, The classroom is the best thing going at the school after our information. It's a private forum just for students of the school and myself. No one else. So it's like a classroom. You're like, hey, because you can post anything, links, photos, just anything in there. Video, blah, blah. So you get direct answers from me and other students, It's been a real godsend as far as how quickly people are learning it. Also, getting feedback from. When I took martial arts, the trainer said to me, he's like, well, there are two ways you can learn mainly. I was like, okay. And he's like, you learn from an expert, like from me, right? But that only teaches you so much. So then you have to be like, you have to work with someone near your, your own area of progress, and work with them. It's not such a quite a great leap. You're all working on it together. So I was like, oh, okay. And the classroom has that. It has new people, very experienced students, and myself. Everybody's in there. It's wonderful. You get great feedback from people. I really recommend anyone that has ever been a student, you got to get in there. You're missing out on so much information. Okay. Marvin, happy to help out with a clarification. Good question. The truth sets you free. Get the information, study it. You'll get out of your situation by knowing how to. So I hope our time's been well spent. All right. I can't teach you everything, but I can. I've taught you the overview, right? I taught you all the information. So, like I was saying, $75,000 for anyone before I had this information. That's how much it costs. Okay. And yet I have all these other courses. That was just a trust, right? I have all these other courses about how to get money from them, not just how to not give them money. So this would be a great deal, at just any price, really, okay? But I'm not Illuminati. I'm not trying to stick it to anybody. I'm just a regular human. I'm one of you. I'm one of the sheep that got out of the fence. So, I care about, that's the law. That's the common law. You have to, help your brothers and sisters. I am doing my best to keep the school just open, advertise, and have a small team of people here, and yet, make this affordable for you. Get the bills paid. So I got over 60% off. You get all the courses. Nothing is left out. Nothing. You even get my time. Half hour would be on Zoom. So really, you get everything, okay? And this way, you have fewer questions for me. You need me less, and you're successful. I want you successful. That's all I want. And if you get all the information, 100% of the people are successful. It's great. Dan. Hey, Dan. I need your help with jail detained. My boyfriend, he did a video testimony. Dan, his friends were adjusted. Oh, okay. We should... Oh, okay. Well, email, yeah, you gotta email, because this, I could give you, I'm already an hour and 25 minutes into this, so, that's a big topic, but here's the basics, okay? You switch the affiliation, they can't touch you when you sign the trust, that's it, all right? And whatever they want to take you, or whatever you say, no, N-O, and they literally can't touch me. They're frozen solid before they try to do it. You have to sign the trust, and you have to, tell them no, and they can't touch it. That's the way it works. It's a simple method to do it. And so if it's a more complicated situation than that, email me, and I'll tell you how to use that. What do I have here? Financial and spiritual technology. This is a technology school, right? I teach financial and spiritual technology, right? This is tech. This is a tech company. In fact, this is the most important tech company that exists. No one has this technology. No one is generating this technology. No one. Only myself at the school. And now some others are generating this technology from experience. Oh, I had this experience. Well, what happened? Oh, that. Oh, well, that's what I was teaching you, right? See what happened? They can't touch you. How do you apply that in your current situation? You follow? Contact at libertyaidacademy.org. Contact at libertyaidacademy.org. That's our email. We'll use that as a segue, okay? And we'll use this to the last video, last slide here, okay? I've been on an hour and a half almost. And so, Dan, please email. There it is, contact at libertyaidacademy.org, okay? And that can get sorted out. All right? I've helped people with that. No problem. I helped myself with it first. Learn the technology so I can share it with others. tested it over and over and over and over again until they finally, the judge, last time I was in a courtroom with the judge was like, hi, Mr. McKeag. I'm like, oh, hey, hi. And he, I just want to let you know that all the judges of Sarasota County gathered together and discussed you. I'm like, well, that's excellent. Good. And, and it just says, and what we decided is there anything we can get you to do to not come down here anymore? Is there, you seem to be upset with something. Can we solve that issue for you? I was like, yeah, one of these bankers had the audacity to sue me, so I sued all of them. Like 15 of them at once. Oh, okay. Well, let's sort this out. Would you? And it was, would if you stop those 50 court cases and they stop theirs, is that okay with you? Would you stop? I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And the bankers are like, the banker lawyers are all there, like, what? We're not going to stop. We're not stopping. The judge is like, yes, you are. I'm the judge. I'm telling you, yes, you are. That's funny. So, yes, how to move that technology into, so you can use it practically in certain situations, Dan. And so you can't just sign the trust. You follow me? You have to study this stuff and use this on the daily. Like, the people that are really taking this seriously move light years. The other people that are sort of like, oh, I kind of do this or whatever, they're going to teach you. They're going to look for your weak spot. They're going to use it against you, and then they're going to turn you into experts. By what? Making your downfall first, so you have to get back up. But instead, my recommendation is study, learn, and then, plan. Whenever you talk to an agent, one of them, what happens? Your phone comes up immediately, you turn on your camera, you start filming. What happens? They walk away. That's it. You have to study this stuff and do the training, or else I can't help you. They come and they find a chick in the armor, they take somebody, and then it's so easy to stop if you just studied. You see what I'm saying? So that's, you got to do that. You have to get this information that's hidden from you, so it's revealed to you. And so it's, I switched, I signed the trust, so no, I'm not going with you. And they can't touch you. How simple is that? Now we got a thing. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm happy to help solve and so on, but you see the difference. That's all, okay? Try to say, if you have the information, it's a nothing. But if you don't have the information, they're going to get over on you. And that's what you don't want, okay? So look, I'm here to help. My team is here to help. I'm an hour and a half in. I'm going to jump off, get the trust, get all this stuff. The school exists today. You can get this information, okay? What happens about tomorrow? What if you die tonight? You don't understand what this information is so volatile in your life. Before you sign, it's like, uh-oh, they heard about it. They want to mess up your life so you can never do this, okay? You have to do this, and then you have to study. How do I use this? It's not that complex. It isn't, but it's just hidden. I don't waste your time, okay? But you do have to study it. All right, Dan. But first, everyone here who on this, Dan has someone who's got an issue with jail. So we're gonna, and anyone else who's here right now, are gonna say, please release this individual in the name of Jesus Christ. There, because the name that you signed under is all powerful. You have to take the name, or else what? You're not following by your own signature. You don't trust your God, and yet what? You signed a trust to trust your God, so you have to do it. And they're here to test you to make sure you're gonna do it. If you're not 100% gonna do it every time, they're gonna come until you do. I do it every time, so they don't come anymore. You see? All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for signing the trust. Thank you for changing your life forever. Thank you for all these wonderful stories. Thank you for being, these solid, upstanding, real people who are, changing their lives and their families' lives for the better by revealing the truth and have everyone be as safe and so on. There's some really amazing people at this school. I feel very blessed to be able to help you people learn the truth and move forward in your life. I take this work extremely seriously. Uh, I try to respect everyone, that comes here. I don't give out any information unless you've done a testimonial. As said, I can say those things. I don't talk about people. I don't talk about your private lives. I don't do it here. I don't do it elsewhere. I respect your privacy, right? But anyone that comes out behind that and does a testimonial has decided to help their brothers and sisters for real. And I'll give you whatever I can, a discount or whatever. If you're willing to do a testimonial, it helps out everyone. So thank you to everyone that has done that. And thank you to everyone who's going to do that, who's thinking about it. Thank you for doing it, okay? All right. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday at noon. And that's going to be the economic